Know that I have felt the same, but I won't play your game. I'll say exactly what's on my mind, and this could be something so real. So tell me how you feel. The winter stole the sun and she's meant to come. So
welcome to the Passion Behind the Art Show. It's all about diving in with individuals to learn the story behind their passion. It's your host, Daryl Pinna. Well, I am excited to have an amazing singer, guitarist on the Passion Behind the Art Show, Miette Hope. Welcome, Miette.
thank you. Thank you for having me today.
Well, I noticed you on Instagram, and I've been listening to you because I am a designer, but as it's becoming known more and more, I love music terribly. And I love to just check out musicians. I have a lot of musicians that I know, so I'm always, and that's how the podcast started with musicians on the show. So let's get started. How did your music journey start when you knew that, okay, music is my thing, I love it completely?
So I feel like music for me was never really a question because my mom was always a musician and she used to play in a band like when she was pregnant with me. So I've really kind of been raised around it, and I was kind of surprised when I started to realize that not everyone is into music. But I don't know. I've always kind of really loved it, but I think when I really started to know that it was something I wanted to do forever was when I started teaching myself how to play guitar. My mom taught me some stuff too, and that's when I wrote my first song, and that's when I was like, "Whoa, this is something that I can connect with, and it's something that's more than just a hobby, I guess."
Cool. So what kind of instrument did your mom play?
So my mom is a singer-songwriter, and she plays guitar and sings as well.
Oh, nice. So do you guys do duets and stuff like that?
Yeah, so she has a band called Edith Makes a Paper Chain,
Mm,
and I sang backup and played ukulele in the band growing up.
nice.
Yeah, and in middle school, I actually played guitar. Or I played clarinet, and my mom would have me come and sit in and play little clarinet solos over their music sometimes, and that's kind of how I started playing with the band.
Okay, cool. So you kind of developed that, okay, music is my thing, especially after you wrote your first song. What is your sound? What when people hear your music, what are you expecting them or hoping for them to experience?
Well, I think the biggest thing about my sound and my writing is that I'm trying to be as open and honest as possible. I think music is really an outlet for me to express my true feelings. Um, and I hope that, when someone listens to the music, that they feel comfortable feeling what they're feeling. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Sometimes it can be uplifting, and sometimes it can be sad, and it's okay for it to be sad. I want my listeners to go there with me, and hopefully resonate with what I'm talking about or what I'm expressing. And most importantly, just feel supported and comfortable being vulnerable by way of my example, I guess.
Oh, that's nice. I really I've listened to a couple of your covers and some of the stuff you've done on the Instagram, and it kind of, I don't know, the sound just kind of really grips me. It's great. So, who would you say some of the people you look up to, heroes in music wise?
So musically, composition wise, I love Stevie Wonder. I love everything he's done, and same with Michael Jackson. I feel like both of their music is very groove based, and they kind of develop a groove that really gets the people moving, which I love. Um, Vocally, Sarah Vaughan is one of my favorite ever vocalists. She was a jazz singer that just had an incredible range, and expressed so much through her voice. I love listening to her and draw a lot of influence vocally from her. And then songwriters that I love, Bob Dylan is an incredible songwriter, and he was really pushing the limits
Right.
of writing by, tackling political topics, and just, kind of just doing whatever was outside of the norm. He kind of just did whatever he wanted, and I love that. Because I've gone to Berkeley these past 4 years, and I've been a songwriting major, and I think the songwriters that I really look up to are the songwriters that consciously break the rules,
Right.
And they have meaning, but when you do break them, it can be really impactful.
Yeah.
And the Beatles, too,
True.
similar with their songwriting, and the content of their songs was just so different than anything that had really come before it. They were super revolutionary.
Yeah, the whole idea of kind of going against the grain.
Yeah, that's what inspires me, because that's where I'm at. I'm kind of at this point in getting into the industry where stuff is really changing, and I really kind of want to do things my own way. And I'm totally inspired by, the people that came before me that were able to do that too.
Okay, so you have a large following. So how would you say what helped you to grow in your musical journey?
So a lot of my following, I think, has kind of developed organically, but I also do modeling just on the side and for fun. But I think as an artist, it is really important these days to have visual content more than just the musical side of that. So I'm all about curating a content on my social media pages that really represents me as a person and just a musician. I think it's really important to have the music speak for itself.
Right.
But I also feel like with the attention span of kind of the general public these days, it's not enough to just have the music. I feel like people that really latch on to an artist want to know about the artist. So I really try to be authentic and show my personality through like the photos that I'm posting, and like the captions that I'm posting, and just really kind of make sure that my fans are getting to know me.
Right.
Another really important part is engaging with fans. I know a lot of people that have bigger followings just don't even bother with it at all, but I'm really super grateful for my supporters, and I really wouldn't be where I am as a musician and artist without them. So I think it's just really important to respond,
Right.
respond and have a conversation with someone that supports you. It really means a lot to them, and it means a lot to me that they reach out to me. And then there's a page on Instagram called, it used to be called Pickup Jazz, but it's called Pickup now. And it's run by my friend Sam, and I was recommended to play one of their first house shows, because they curate and host these exclusive house shows.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I got asked to play one of those events, and I think that was really helpful for my following, because a lot of people were turned on to my music through that page. And when I played the event, they were, promoting it and everything, and it was definitely really helpful to my growth as an artist, just to get music lovers sent my way, basically.
That's cool. So how does that work? I mean, I've seen like different pictures of it, and I follow Sam and stuff like that. But how does that work were you there live playing?
Yeah. So basically, they choose an area that they want to host a show in. I think one of the first ones they did was in New York.
Right.
And then they basically just find musicians that they really love, it's through recommendations, sometimes it's through their research on social media. But they basically find 4 or 5 artists and musicians that they want to play this event, and then the pickup fans can apply to attend the show.
Right.
And it's pretty limited. They like to keep it small. They like to keep it like 50 cap, 100 cap. But yeah, so it's that whole process that they find the people and then they curate the event, and it was a really awesome thing to be a part of. And I also met some other really up and coming musicians that also played the event.
Yeah, any form of collaboration is always a good thing.
That's another thing I was going to say that's helped me grow my social media pages is like, as a model, I get to collaborate with a lot of amazing photographers. So when they post our work together, their followers are sent my way, and vice versa when I post work together. And the same thing goes for if I decide to collaborate with another musician and make a song or make a Instagram cover or anything like that. It's just kind of all feeding back into this like online community, which is a really important part of promoting yourself as a musician these days.
Yeah, it's almost a more important part of everything.
Yeah.
So, what would you say was the hardest struggle you had to overcome?
So, when I was 16 years old, a week before my senior year of high school, I lost my dad. Yeah, he passed away, and it was definitely really, really hard on me. And it was probably just like the biggest hardship I've ever had to experience. But I think it really kind of pushed me. I mean, basically the months following that are the months that I applied to Berkeley and applied to get the scholarship that I have. And without my scholarship, I wouldn't have been able to attend school here. So, you know, even though it was a really hard thing to go through, I feel like it's kind of made me who I am, and it's also kind of pushed me further. I know he's always with me, and I, always just really want to make him proud.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, but I mean, I'm glad that, you turned it into some kind of motivation, because that's something rough to overcome.
Yeah, definitely. And I was actually able to write kind of a concept album about my relationship with my dad and his journey and struggle as an addict. And my hope is that I'll be able to release that someday and, be able to show it to fans that may have had a similar story or may have had to deal with something similar, and that it could help them in some way. But I don't think I'm ready to share it yet.
Right. I must, it's kind of something, it's so deep, kind of got to be prepared mentally for it.
Yeah, and I think I want to build my fan base a little bit more and have really solid fans that actually care about my story instead of having it brand me.
Right. So, who would you say is your support system? Who are the people that, you kind of even helped you get through this?
So, my mom is definitely my biggest supporter, and she has always encouraged me to pursue my dreams. My sister as well. Definitely my family for sure. My stepdad, and then I still have a really good relationship with my stepmom after we lost my dad, so she's always been around for us as well. And also my choir teacher in high school really encouraged me to apply to music school and apply to singing competitions around town, and he gave me the vocal jazz award my senior year, and that kind of really just gave me the recognition and the belief in myself to just keep moving forward. And I was like, okay, cool, this mentor of mine who's been doing this for years and has seen a lot of talent believes in me and wants me to keep going with this. So it definitely kind of helped me to move forward. So shout out to Mr. Peckham.
All right. That's awesome. So, what are you most excited about right now? What are some of the stuff that you're doing? Like, what are you most excited about right now?
So I'm about to release my next single,
Hmm.
which I'm very, very excited about. The song itself is called Release Me. So I think it's in its own title. It's waiting for me to get that thing out there. Um, and I did a live session of it with my band, which is cool because we actually don't have any like professional videos out of us performing live. So, I'm really, really excited about that. And I've just had a lot of fans. I mean, it's been almost a year, or maybe a little less than a year, since I've released my last single. So I've been having fans reach out to me a lot and just asking, "Where's the album? Where's the music?" But I prefer to release singles right now because they're a lot easier to promote.
Right.
And the issue with releasing a whole body of work when you don't have a huge fan base is that people may not listen to the whole thing, and people may not have the attention span to be present with all of the work that you put in. And at that point, it's not really worth it to release a whole body of work. So I'm just going to keep releasing singles for a while as I'm coming up as an artist. I'm doing this thing without a label and without a manager right now. So it's kind of just better for me to focus on one song at a time. And I think it's just a lot easier for the people to digest. But after I release this single and finish up these last couple credits here at Berklee this summer, I'm moving to New York. And that's one of the main things that I'm just really, really excited about. It's a new city. It's kind of going to be my first time on my own, and I don't plan on getting a real job.
Nice.
I'm freelance. I'm going to be a musician and really do this thing and see if it's possible. So it's very scary, but it's also super exciting. And I think exciting and scary are a little bit one and the same.
Right. To be honest, if there's any place you want to go, like go for it, it's New York City. As a person that lived in New York for years, it's that type of place, and you'll do well. I'm not even worried at all.
Thank you.
So, in regards to the single, what was kind of the inspiration behind that?
So I wrote this song during a time when I had just gone through a big heartbreak. I think it's what I've been learning about love and life is that it's when your story gets intertwined with someone else's, it can be extremely challenging to undo that and kind of find yourself again after you've kind of like morphed with someone else. So I was going through this breakup and just really, really needing some space. I think I was feeling really hurt and just feeling like I wanted to be independent again, and just like from that. And my ex at the time, I think was also having a hard time with the separation, but was at a different part in the process than I was, and was reaching out to me to hang out or grab coffee or catch up or whatever. And so I kind of wrote this song in reaction to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Release me.
Got
it.
I just need to be free from this.
Got it.
Yeah, and I was having a hard time moving on because they were still like trying to be in my life, which is so hard because you totally do want to be in that person's life. You know, you're going to love them no matter what. But sometimes you just really need that space to find yourself again. So yeah, and I think by releasing this song, it's going to be like kind of the last step in my recovery process, because it's been like a year since all of this went down, and I'm finally like on my feet again and feeling really good about, just taking this world on by myself. So
Nice. I mean, it all sounds good. I mean, I really, as I said, I enjoy your style. I enjoy your music. I think you you have a very unique sound, and it's awesome. It's awesome. Are you going to be able to play?
yeah, I have my guitar right here.
Awesome. All right. Well, let's have it.
So I think I'm going to play a song that I already have out. Um, it's called Spring. And in this song, I basically kind of created a metaphor, comparing a person in my life to the weather. And the overarching theme is basically just that you can't change someone,
Right.
It's going to change the way that they do, like the weather does. You can't change the weather. It's going to happen how it happens in its natural way, and that's totally fine. It's like coming to accept that that's the way things are, and just being patient.
Love it.
Called Spring. We were falling out of touch. Maybe it was too much for either of us to comprehend. And you don't want to see the end, so maybe if we're friends, this won't become stagnant. And I've been waiting for so long, but it does not feel wrong. The wind just stole the sun, she's bound to come. So, how much of my weight will make it ice break? Don't know what it will take for you to crack and let me in. I'm slipping on the surface of your thick skin. I just wanna fall in. I will have to wait till spring. I will have to wait till spring. Don't pretend like you don't care, although you might be scared to let your feelings show. Know that I have felt the same, but don't play your game. I'll say exactly what's on my mind, and this could be something so real. So tell me how you feel. The winter stole the sun and she's bound to come. So how much of my weight will make it ice cream? Don't know what it will take for you to crack and let me in. I'm slipping on the surface of your thick skin. I just wanna fall in. I will have to wait till spring. I will have to wait till spring. And I know you've been thinking of it every day. And I won't go till you try to push me away. And I'll be fine, knowing that all good things come in time. So how much of my weight will make it ice break? Tell me what it will take for you to crack and let me in. While I'm slipping on the surface of your thick skin, I just wanna fall in. I will have to wait till spring. I will have to wait till spring. DPCREATES.
Miette Hope. That was beautiful.
Thank you
Oh
so
my gosh, that was beautiful. That was beautiful.
much.
Wow. So, how can people go to learn about all this awesome stuff that you're creating?
So the easiest way is probably my website, miettehope.com. But I'm on all social media platforms except for Twitter. I don't really like Twitter. Um, but and then on all streaming platforms. And if you're old school, Bandcamp and SoundCloud too. I have 2 music videos out on Vivo and YouTube. So you can check those out too.
Well, Miet, this was awesome. It was great to get to know you a little better, the person behind the music. Thanks again for doing this. Like, that was so awesome just now.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Nice to meet you.
Yes, and I'll definitely keep in touch, but for now, I'm going to let you go. Thanks again for being on the show.
Thank you. Have a good night.
All right, you too. Take care.
Bye.
Thanks again for listening to this week's episode. I hope it brought you a ton of value. I'm always open for feedback and just to hear what you thought and what stood out to you the most. So reach out to me through my Instagram or Twitter, DPCREATES, and just let me know, like, how did this episode impact you and what did you get from it? What stood out the most? I would love to hear what it is that brought you value. Thanks again for listening to this week's episode. Be blessed.